Good to see you.
Alright, so here is the nightmare run through of the now hybrid, because you're going to get to a point where you're going to want to respec into Freezing Arrow. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to, after you respec, you're going to want to put 5 points into the Valkyrie, so the Valkyrie can last a little bit. And she gets pretty decent life. So she's really not going to go away. You'll have to summon her a couple times throughout your run, but she does a pretty darn good job at tanking everything. And again, Decoy is still your best friend. You're going to want to throw her out there just to keep the other monsters at bay. You're going to be a lot safer with Freezing Arrow than you were with the Exploding Arrow. So you're going to be freezing the enemies in one direction, and then you're going to want to put like your Decoy in the other direction if you're getting like surrounded or something. Because the thing about Zons is, if you're a good Zon, you got a decent run walk, so you're going to be able to fly around, and you're going to find yourself placed in places where there's multiple enemies on each side. But that's going to be okay, because you can use your Valkyrie, and you can use your Decoy, you can summon them both, and then you can freeze them in any direction. I put a couple more points into energy, just because my Freezing Arrow is going to be around 15 mana by the time I get done with it. So I got a total of 260 mana right now. I put a couple extra points in Vitality, because I didn't want to get, wrecked. And I'm pretty satisfied with my attack rating. With the Exploding Arrow, it's 86, and then with the Freezing Arrow, I think it's like 6 below that. 83. Here we go. All right, so I guess I'll run through the crossbow tree here. So what I did is, after I respect, I started putting points into Cold Arrow. I started maxing out Cold Arrow, right? And then what I did is I tried to get both of these to 300. So this damage here at 300 and this damage here at 300. The best way to achieve this without like wrecking your mana pots every time you shoot an arrow is to add it to the Cold Arrow. So you got the Cold Arrow, and then it gets its synergy from Cold Arrow. The Freezing Arrow does. So pump this, and then you won't have to worry too much about wrecking your mana really fast, because I mean, she fires off arrows pretty quickly. It doesn't seem like a lot of damage, but they explode and they penetrate. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you get this skill here. This Pierce is 55% chance to pierce, and each time it shoots through an enemy, it explodes on impact. Okay, so there's going to be an enemy, and then it'll explode. So say my Zon's here and Lazark's over here, so it's going to explode in the Zon after it pierces, and then it's going to also pierce Lazark, and it's going to explode on him. So like, you can just imagine what'll happen in the cow level. It'll just keep on exploding, and it'll freeze everything. So I've basically just been adding to dexterity, putting points into vitality and energy as I see fit. Got strength up to 60 because I gotta wear some armor. You get the plated belt, you gotta have 60, and it's always nice to have 4 slots in here for the pots. So again, we're gonna run through the tree just one more time here. After the respec, what you want to do is you want to get your fire arrows. You don't need this at all. Don't ever get this. It's pointless, because your main attack is going to be this right here. Right. So this is a total. So I'm going to end up maxing Cold Arrow. I'm going to end up maxing Freeze Arrow. I'm going to max Fire Arrow and Exploding Arrow. And this is going to get me through hell until I find a Cold Thunder Charm, and then I can respec again. And then if you can grab yourself a Wisdom Draw, you're really, really cheap. You could probably get one on Tradery for, I don't know. I mean, the highest maybe. I mean, you could probably get one with enough gems here. If you got enough gems, you can probably trade enough gems for one of these guys. They're super duper cheap, but it adds around 30 to enemy cold resistances. So if you can grab one of these, that's going to help you out tremendously. But if not, you can always go with the Insight in the bow, and you'll be fine. You probably won't have to worry about mana nearly as much. But I enjoy the Wisdom Draw. And again, you want to make sure your resistances are looking pretty good. You basically want to get your points into, if you find like an amulet or gloves with +2, you can shop these at Charcy right here for, I don't know, I spend like 5-10 minutes just looking at her gloves. Just go in and out into the, like this here. I'll show you. just keep remaking your game until you get to where, oh, that's perfect, to where the outside is right here. And just keep running in and out.
Greetings.
And it'll switch up your the whole set that she has here. All this right here, it'll reset it. So this is how you farm her gloves.
Not here. Good day.
It changed here. So you got a whole different thing here. Alright, so there's that. And if you get plus, you want your skills to be into the passive and magic skills tree because of, I mean, you could do bows, but I mean, you only have 2 skills here that you're going to be using in your bows, right? As opposed to every single one of these you're going to be using. I mean, this is really handy. I mean, it's incredibly handy. This is an S tier skill right here. This is an S tier skill right here. This is an S tier skill right here. And for hardcore, if you want to put some life in there, this is an S tier skill as well. And these are really, 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 really helpful. These are all like brilliant skills. Okay. And then you got your 42% chance to critical rate. So I mean, these are all really good. So you want your skill, you want your amulet to be passive and magic. You get +3 to that. That's what you ultimately want. And then you want a 20 passive and magic and 20 attack speed. I didn't want to shop too long for that, but I mean you can find these in less than 10 minutes. Okay. And you know, upgrade your stealth into you know, like a ghost armor or the next, you know, the next exceptional armor that you can find. And you'll have some pretty decent defense. You don't have to worry about getting one shot with 352 health, and you can move around fast enough with a decent set of boots as well. Make sure you got the 20% faster run walk on there. If you can find some tri-res on the belt and on the boots, you'll be a really happy camper. This zone is not recommended to enter Hell yet because of her resistances. You definitely want to get your resistances to at least, I want to say at least 4. Each of these has to be at least 40 by the time you start like really engaging in Hell, because those souls will give you a new girlfriend that you never wanted. Okay, and that's true. So yeah, back to the skills again. Yep, respect, put 20 points into here. I did this at around, I think it was like level 40, so you'll have plenty of skills. So you want to put 20 points into here, and then this is already going to be at 9. So basically what I did is I tried to keep these as close as possible, the mana consumption on these both as close as possible. So put 20 in here, right? And then just max this, and then get this up to about the same as like 10. I mean, 10 by 63 is enough for you to clear this. But again, I'm just, you know, wary of your mana consumption because nobody wants to run around with a speed dial number to a Kara to go get pots, you know, constantly. And yep, that's that. You know, the lore is also great. It gives you 30 to lightning resistances, so you don't got to worry about too much. Put a lore in there until you can find something better. You might be able to find a circlet that gives, you know, plus skills, passive and magic, or bow and crossbow. Again, if you really want to prioritize your skills in the passive and magic tree more so than in the bow and crossbow. So where you can get plus skills is always good. You want to keep an eye out for the charms that give you elemental damage. Alright, so here's a couple things that I've picked up along the way through just running around in Nightmare. This is going to be pretty good for my druid. This is going to be pretty good for my druid. I'll probably use this over that, but yeah. I mean, if you want to run the Countess while you could pick up your insight and put it on your mercenary. I really didn't find too much of a need to have a mercenary through Nightmare at all, really. I mean, I grabbed him a couple times for like just to see how he would do, but without having the right gear on him, he just passes away too quickly. But you can just summon your Valkyrie and she'll be able to do way better than he would at tanking things. And plus you got your decoy and your Valkyrie already out there, so you really don't have to worry too much. And you know, you can always, you know, craft your, you know, in the Resurrected cube, you can craft your belts and your gloves. You always have to wait until in-game to do that, because if you didn't know, in Amazon needs as much help as she can get. So you're probably gonna, if you're playing on hardcore and you know, you're going about things, a more solo way, you're going to want to start crafting probably in the middle of Nightmare, just to get your resistances where you want them to be and try to find your affixes and your suffixes just right for you. I mean, I got some decent rings. But this is all stuff that you can come across. You can craft yourself some stuff. Yeah, this is Love Muffin. This is how she made it through Nightmare without dying yet. Alright, and then we'll go run, we'll show her off a little bit here. Decoy. I'm gonna start firing away. Stay away. And you see how everything just freezes, and that decoy just stands there taking all that heat, blowing all these guys up. And then you can switch over to your fire, and your fire's gonna ruin the cooldown, right? That's the point to building. That's the point to building her with the hybrid fire and cold, because in hell it's gonna be completely different. And as you can see, she's getting hit by javelins, and her health is doing pretty darn good. But I'm being wary of those arrow guys and those flying javelins, because I'm just giving you a rundown of how careful you actually do want to be playing this build, because she's really weak. Just keep throwing your decoys out there, and you'll get through it. It's really fun to play. Ooh, 3-socket Grand Crown. Look at that. That's going on in work. Alright, well that's that. And yep, that's that. Yep, make sure you have your arrows always stocked up. I usually like to carry at least another set in here, just in case, you know, I'm in the middle somewhere. Make sure you turn on the, in the settings here, make sure you turn on, look through here, and you'll find that indicator that shows when you're running low on arrows. Alright, you got an attack miss indicator here. You'll find it in there. Show ammo count on skills, you know, and then you can keep remembering, you know, how much arrows you have left. Be wary of how many pots you have at all times, because this is a pot build. You're gonna be using a lot of pots in this on this build. You know, it's not like a Warcry Barbarian where you just go in there and start shouting and singing songs and making everybody dance. Instead, you're the one dancing. Apparently, I just completed that class. Cool beans. Alright, so there's that. This is Love Muffin.